So I am back as promised to show you how to make my newest design, the block party shawl. And I actually love how, because I did the block party cushion for my birthday. It was my birthday pattern this year, the block party cushion, and I was like, yeah, let's all unite and do a block party. And here I come with the summer version as well. So who's bringing the cooler, you guys? I already showed you in the last video how to make the beautiful linen stitch, which is the base here for the shawl. And I just love how this looks, especially in this hand-dyed yarn. It really just shines. I absolutely love it. So you start with that, and I already showed you that. And now I'm going to show you how to start the mosaic bit. Now, usually I do full tutorials. I've been a bit busy these last few days, so this is a support tutorial. I show you how to get all the way down to here with the first mosaic pattern here, and with the pattern, and it comes with charts and written instructions and everything. So I think you will be good to go and continue then on your own after doing this, but it's not a complete tutorial. What I want to show you as well is that I'm working on, because this pattern is just added to the original block party, and it works as a border pattern as well, the new one, the shawl. So you can definitely use that as a cocoa. And I'm starting on this here now. So that is another idea. You can use the block party shawl pattern to make a border for either your block party project, or, okay, tails everywhere, or just another blanket, what have you. And before we get started, because I have been a bit distracted, as you can see here now, I just painted my deck, my porch here, beautiful turquoise blue, and I've been doing that whole weekend. So that's why my video is one day late. Sorry about that, you guys. And as a consequently of that, I extended my summer solstice sale for 2 days, so you can now get all my patterns off until midnight tomorrow, July 2nd, for 44% off. So that is a steal. It's a steal, I'm telling you. And I wanted to show you all the shawl patterns that I have, because summertime is for the shawls, right? This is the Havana simple version. This is the Havana shawl, the full-blown colorful version. I have a tutorial start with this, and then the pattern available on Ravelry. Another favorite is the Coraza. I have this pattern and the full tutorial. This is the simple Coraza, and then I have the multiple ones with colors, this one and this one as well. It all comes, you can check out the tutorials, or you can go and check out my patterns. Always much appreciated when you buy my patterns, you guys. And then there's the Kriya, which is lovely as well. So I have so many shawls, and I hope you take advantage of that and the sale, and go make yourself some pretty shawls for the summer. Well, I don't know if other people use shawls in the summer like us Icelanders do. At any rate, it's a small project, and it's nice to work on in the summertime, and then you're ready for fall. And if you're from the Arctic as I am, you can use them in the summer as well. So this one here is my punk rock version. I want to show you, always ask for the backside. The backside is quite pretty as well. But what do we say? Hey, oh, let's go. I'm gonna show you how to get started with the block party shawl. Okay, on we go. So in the last video, I showed you how to make the base here, this linen stitch shawl, or just triangle. You can make bunting, so you can make a shawl, what have you. But today I'm going to show you how to start working my block party shawl, which starts with a linen stitch. So I'm not sure that I'm going to continue and do the whole thing, so you will need the pattern for this one. But I'm going to show you how to get started and how to situate everything. So I'm using DK yarn. All the yarn studs are in the pattern, so you can look that up without buying it. And you need 2 sets of hooks, because I really want to go up in hook size when I'm doing the linen part, so that it will stretch a bit more. So I used, for DK yarn, I used 5.5 for the linen stitch. And then now I'm going to switch it over to 4.5 millimeter for the mosaic bit, because I'm using DK. If you're using another weight of yarn, just use, like, maybe go a bit up in the the mosaic part. Like usually I would use 4 or 4.5 like this, but that's like the higher and for DK, I'd say. And then go 1 up for the linen stitch bit. But do check out the video, the last video I did for the linen stitch for this part here. And now I'm going to show you how we start and making part 2 in the block party shawl, adding the mosaic pattern to it. Okay, so you can make as many rows here as you want for the beginning. In my big shawl I made 50 rows. Here for these teaching purposes I only made 12 because I don't want it to be too big. And I just chose 2 here brown colors. I just want to use neutral here for this. So this is my main color, and then this is then B and C. Or maybe I will use this in the B and the C, I haven't decided. So we start here by doing all the linen bits you want. I did 12 rows. And now we're going to start with what is called part 2 in the shawl, in the pattern. And that is the mosaic border. And we continue for this row 1 here. I am going to put the rows down here because we have more rows now. La 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 la. And I find no pen. Yes, there's a pen. So organized. That's my middle name. Okay, row 1. Is it not showing very well? Well, yeah, like that. And we switch over to a smaller hook. So I'm switching down here to my 4.5 millimeter. And we continue with the main color. Okay, and so we just chain 1. And then we start by doing the border stitch as always. And that's 2 single crochets into the border stitch here. 1 and 2. And then you're gonna make 1 single crochet here in the next one. And now we're always going to skip 1 stitch, and we're just going to do 2 single crochets here into the chain space, because we want to have all single crochets here. Then it's so we get a neater line here. Okay, so we skip the next stitch and work 2 single crochets into the chain space. Okay, skip the next one and 2 into the next one. So this is really very easy and all the same. And you just work, it doesn't matter how many repeats you have. You just work like this the whole way down. And incidentally, this is also how you could finish off your, if you're doing an all linen stitch shawl, then you could finish it off by doing this little border to get it like have a fuller border. I finished my block party shawl off with this as well for the last row. Okay, so it's just 2 single crochets into every chain stitch, and always skipping the stitch here in between. Okay, and when you get to the center, we're gonna work here 1 single crochet just as before into the chain space here, and 1 and 2 and 1 single crochet like so. And then we skip this one again and do 1 and 2. And 2 single crochets into each stitch. Easy peasy. That was 1 and 2. Like so. 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and then we skip this one and do 1 here into the second to last, and 2 into the last one. 1 and 2, and then you chain and turn. So that was row 1. And on we go to row 2, and we continue with color A. So we did the chain and turn, and now we're just going to work, it's just an all single crochet row. But first we start with a border stitch, and that we work into both loops here of the first stitch, 1 and 2 single crochets there. And then we're going to work 1 single crochet into front loop only, all the way down. Yeah, like so. And this leaves the back loop here, which will be on the front side of the shawl, for us to work into our mosaic bits. Yeah, so it's just row 2 is just you do the border stitch, and then there is 1 single crochet into each stitch, front loop only, until you get to the center chains. Okay, so I've done that here. There's just 1 stitch left before the center chain. I'm going to work 1 single crochet there. And now the difference here when we work the center compared to when we were working the linen stitch, we're going to work into the chains and not into the chain space. Yeah, so we do 1 single crochet into the front loop here of the first chain. 1, and then chain 2. I'm leaving this. No, I was doing it into the back loop, sorry. Do take care to do this here into the front one. It is here, so that we're leaving those back loops. It's a bit mushy here. There we go. Gotcha. 1 single crochet here into the front loop of the first chain, and then chain 2, and then 1 single crochet into the front loop of the second chain. This is really not being what can we call it? It's they're not being collaborative. There we go. Okay. And then we just continue and work 1 single crochet into the front loop of each stitch, and then work 2 into the border stitch. Just 2 stitches here, single crochets into both loops of the border stitch at the end of row 2. Okay, on to row 3. I finished row 2 here, just 1 single crochet as before, always leaving this back loop here. And now we are going to change colors, and we're going to use color B. And I think actually I will start with this darker one here. Maybe it's difficult to see on the video. Let's use this one. So I just have 2 browns here. You just want good contrast always. And I think these browns are very pretty. Let's open up the skein. Okay, so for this one here now, we're not going to cut color A here at this point, because it'll be at the right sides to use it in a couple of rows. So we're just going to leave that one here, and we are going to finish this last stitch here with the new one, new color, just like that. Okay, and then we chain 1 and turn. Okay, and now we are going to do row 3 and using color B. And we are going to work the 2 border stitches just as normally. And I'm going to work over my tail here. Well, always when I can, I'm going to work over my tail. Otherwise, there are just a few tails you'll have to weave in there. And we're going to do 2 single crochets into the first stitch, into the border stitch here. And then we're going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch in the back loop only. Okay, so we're just going to go into the back loop. You see here, there are 2 loops. You can do in the front or the back. We're going to go into the back loop and just 1 single crochet into each stitch. I'm going to work a few stitches here over my tail, and that just means laying it sort of beside the stitches and working around it. You see? Okay, and this is just exactly like the last row, but now we're just working it into the back loop here always. Okay, I think that's enough for our weaving in here, so I'm just going to drop my tail and continue, and it's all the same here now, just 1 single crochet into the back loop, and then when you get to this bit here in the middle, you do the same, and you work into the loops. As always with mosaic crochet, we're not going to work into the chain space, we're going to work into the front loops here now. of this. So 1 single crochet, no, not front loops, back loops, sorry, yeah. 1 single crochet into each back loop, and then just the bit in the middle is 1 single crochet into the first chain, 2 chains, and then 1 single crochet. And then 1 single crochet all the way up here as well, always in the back loop only, and finish with 2 single crochets into both loops of the border stitch. Hey, oh, let's go. Okay, so I've gone all the way here, just all the way single crochets, 1 single crochet into the first chain here, 2 chains, 1 single crochet, and I continue all the way up. And now from this part on, this is the border stitch here at the end, 2 single crochets into both loop of the last stitch of the row. And now, since we're doing the mosaic part, crochet bit, we are breaking the yarn here at the end of each row and just pulling it once through like that. Whoopa! And there you go. That was row 3. And then we just always start from this side again here. And that's why we left our tail here now, because we could use that in row 4. Okay, next up is row 4. But before we start that, we have to count a bit and situate the pattern in the right place, really, because I want to have the pattern write it up in a way that you can do as long or short as you want it with the linen stitch before starting the block party mosaic border stitch here, or the pattern. Okay, so what you do is you start from the center, and it's then 8 stitch repeat, but from the center we need to start counting first 6 stitches. So we don't count the chains, we start counting here the first single crochet, 1 2 3 4 5, oops, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and pop a stitch marker in the 6th stitch, and then count always out 8 and pop a stitch marker in each 8 until, like here, I only have 8 left here on this side. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you have 8 or less or more here. I'm gonna get to that. Okay, on the other side you do the same. Start by counting the first single crochet here after the chains and count 6 stitches out, pop a stitch marker there, and then 8 and 8 as many times you can get an 8. Now it varies, it can vary how many stitches you have here at the end. Now I have 8 stitches, you could have 7 or 6 or what have you. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is to get the pattern to be as further out as we can here to the end, because there will be a part here at the end that we're just gonna cover up with the main color, just because the pattern can't go all the way out there. Okay, so now I have here 8 stitches left, but that's really including the border stitches. Okay, so that doesn't really count. So I have 7 stitches here before the border stitch. What I'm gonna do here now is, because the pattern repeat is 8, but it's always 4 and 4 blocks of 4 stitches. So now I have 7 stitches here before I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 stitches before 7 before the border stitch. Okay, so I'm going to count out 4 now at the end. So if you can count a 4 with the remaining here at the end, you count 1 2 3 and 4, and I'm going to pop 1 here in. That's an extra. Okay, and do the same on the other side. And we do 1 2 3 and 4. Okay, like so. And now we start row 4 really after doing all this. So as you can see, it can vary here after these 4. If you can do these 4, you mark those. If you can't, you're just going to cover it all up. Okay, but since I had so many here, I had 7, so I'm going to add an extra 4 here. Okay, and now we didn't break our tail after row 2. So we're just going to insert our hook here into both loops of the border stitch and just pull our yarn up like so. I mean, you can see it a bit here, but it's nothing major. And we do 1 chain and 2 single crochets into the border stitch. Okay, and now we're going to count the stitches that we have until our first pin here. I have 1 2 3 stitches. Okay, and we're going to be working down here into, whoops, can't really see it very well, these here stitches. Okay, and since we have 3 here that I have to cover, and I'm just going to cover until I get to my first stitch marker with extended DCs, and then I have to sort of, because we're going down so many rows, so this one goes down to this one. So I put all 3 stitches that I need to do here in the first one. Okay? If you have more stitches, then you would probably do 3 in the first one. And then this is a bit of a fudgy, but you see here, because we don't have so many stitches to go into, because this is the border stitch here. But just count how many stitches you have here, and that's the stitches that you're supposed to do. Okay, and I'm going to put all mine 3 here into the first, and only stitch that I have really here to work with. And extended DC is yarn over, go into the stitch 3, 1, 2, 3 rows down, and pull through. Get the yarn and pull through 1, get the yarn, pull through 2, and get the yarn, pull through 3. Okay, so now we've done these 3 here to cover up our 3 stitches. Depending on how many stitches you have here is how many stitches you do here. And now, since we have 4 here in the start, I am going to work 4 single crochets before my repeat starts. Okay, I do single crochets just into the back loop here. 1, oh, it's really making a lot of sounds here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, this is really before the repeat starts. As you can see, since I only have 7 stitches, I couldn't do a whole full repeat here, so I just cover up the stitches I have extra, and then do 4 single crochet here extra before we start the repeat. And now we start the repeat of the pattern, and the repeat is always just 4 extended DCs and 4 single crochets for each 8 stitches, right? Okay, so we understand that this is extra, and this can vary here on how many stitches you have. Okay, if you can fit the 4 here, that's great. And then you just cover up and do the same amount of stitches as you had here, so that we have the right stitch count. Okay, and now starts the repeat, and that is 4 extended DCs, 4 single crochets. And as you can see here, we're going to go down. This here is the last row, and then the row before. Where am I going? Straight down to this one here, and we're going to do all the way down here. Okay, not into the row, into the B here. We're on row 4, so this is row 3, 2, and we're just going straight back down to 1 to the front loop here. Okay, and we yarn over, and then we pull 1 up, and we have 3 up on our hook, and then yarn over, go through 1, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 3. Okay, yarn over, go down here 3 rows, pull up, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do 4 extended DCs. Okay, and then it should look like this. And then we are going to do 4 single crochets. So this is the pattern that repeat. This is just the extra here at the end. I thought it was so good when I was counting and I saw 8, but then it was 8 including the border stitch. So it's really the border stitch stands out there. Okay, that was 4 extended DCs and 4 single crochets. And now we go back to doing the extended ones, and we just follow these. This one is the first here, and then we go down to here. And again, we do 4 extended DCs. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets. Okay, so that's the repeat. So as many 8s as you have, you always do this here now, okay? This is the end bit here, and then this is like that. And now we get to the part where we had 6 stitches. Oh no, I worked around my stitch marker here. Okay, and so now we get to the center part, okay? So there we are going to work 4 double crochets. And the first one goes down here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then we're going to do the same as we had to do here in the beginning, because we're going down so many rows. We're going to do 3 extended DCs here into the first chain from row 1, 3 into the first one, 1, 2 and 3, and then we chain 2 for the center chains, and then do 3 extended DCs into the second chain, which is here. One and 2 and 3. Okay, and then we do 4 more extended DCs, just 1 into each of the next 4 stitches. So here for the center on each side, really we have 7 stitches on each side of the this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 more. Like so. Okay, so that's here 4, and then 3 into the chain, chain 2, 3 into the next chain, and then 4. And now we get to our 8 stitches. Repeat, and then it's just going to go in the other direction than before, and we do 4 single crochets, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then 4 extended DCs. And whenever in doubt, just always remember, obviously, that each side is supposed to mirror the other one. Like so, and then we get to the second repeat here, and you probably have more if you made the piece larger, but I'm going to show you 2 repeats here on each side always. 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets, and then 4 double crochets, and always with no extended DCs. And always when you're going down with those, just to show that, be sure you're making it into the right stitch, just follow the stitches down. Find the one in the row below you, and then the row below that, and then the third row down. We're going to work our extended DCs into those. Okay. La 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 la. Okay, now we finished our repeat, and now we get to the end here, where we have, if you have enough stitches to make, if you have 4 plus stitches here, then we're gonna do half of our repeat here at the end, and do 4 single crochets into the back loop only here. Whoops, it's a bit of a pain to have the stitch markers in, but it is very important. They are helping us. And now, as before, we're gonna cover up the end bit here, and we have 3 stitches here, and then the border stitch. Border stitch is not inside our calculation, so we have to do all 3 stitches into this one here. Okay, so if you only have 2 stitches left here, you just do 2 stitches. Okay, we have to have the same amount of stitches as we have here. So I do work down here and do 3 extended DCs here in the same stitch. And then there's just the border stitch here into the last stitch. I'm going to work over my tail just a little bit here. 1 and 2. Okay, I hope this is clear. It is a bit of a fudging because I wanted to keep the pattern open and not just having just have to make one size. So really it's just do your 8s until you can't have any, until you have 7 stitches or less here for the excluding the border stitch. Like I had 7 here, and then I can take out my 4 extra here on each side. If you have less than 4, then you just cover those up with the DCs. Okay, this is an if you have an extra 4, if you have 4 plus here, then you can put an extra half repeat here at the end. If you have less than 4, then you just cover it all up, and then imagine this would just be covered up here with the white. Okay, but basically you work the white extended DCs with the main color to cover up until you get to your first either half a repeat or whole repeat. Okay, and there we go. That was row 4. Phew. Okay, so that was the difficult part. Or like, well, not so difficult, but a bit complicated. Now we're back. Like, this was just to situate our pattern, and now we're in the clear. Okay, so now we introduce color C. We did A, we've done A, B, A, and now comes C in row 5. And that is actually just a single crochet row. So we're going to start here again with a border stitch, which is going onto both loops, pulling your yarn up, making 1 chain, and then I'm going to be working over my tail here, 2 single crochets into the first stitch here, and then we're just going to work 1 single crochet into each stitch, just back loop only. This is basically exactly the same as row, what was it, 1, 2, 3 here. The same as we did when we introduced color B. So this is color C, and it's just 1 single crochet here into the back loop, all the way up here. And here we work the same as before, 1 single crochet into the back loop of the first corner, the center stitch here, chain, 2 chains, and then 1 single crochet into the last one. And all the way up here, 1 single crochet into the back loop, and then 2 single crochets into the last stitch of the row, which is the border stitch. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and do that and then show you when I finish. Okay, I'm finishing row 5 here, and just want to show you a quick tip here at the end of the row. So when I'm doing these single crochet rows, I take the opportunity and I work over my tails here at the end as well. Okay, so from the tail from the last row, I can work over that like this, and it's just 1 single crochet into the back loop of each stitch for this row, like so, and then finish with the border stitch here into both loops, working 2 single crochets there, cutting the yarn, make 1 extra chain here, and now whoop-a, that's row 5 all done. Whoop whoop. Okay, so now we're going to work with color B again. That's this light brown here, and we're on row 6. And we start by doing the border stitch as before. I'll work over my tail here. 1, 2. And now we are just going to work until we get to our first repeat or our first half repeat in this here, just basically until you get to the bit where you have these single crochets you can work in here down. We're going to work single crochets into the back loop of each stitch until you get to your first repeat or your first half repeat. Okay, and once you get to there, you just work as many stitches as you need to get until you get to your first repeat or half repeat here. And now we're going to do 4 extended DCs down to, it's like 1, 2, and 3 rows down. Basically it's just the same color you have up on your hook, and we do the extended DCs before. If you want to see those really slowly made, then I did the original block party tutorial, I did that really slow and easy for you soon. Okay, and so now we do our first block here in the block party. Okay, like so. And then we do, and then starts the proper repeat, which is 4 single crochets, back loop always, 4 extended DCs. Okay, again 4 single crochets, and 4 extended DCs. Whoop-a-la. Okay, there we go. And now we get to the center bit, and there we're just going to work 9 single crochets, back loop only, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the 9th lands here in the first chain, and then you chain 2 and do 9 up the other end. Okay, so we're going to do exactly the same here up the other side, so I don't think I have to show you that. 9 single crochets, and then you do 4 extended DCs down, 4 single crochets. Just continue until you get to these 4 extended DCs, and then you just do single crochets for the rest of the row. Just mirroring what we've done here before, but you see it's happening. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so I've worked myself up the other side. I only have the single crochets left here. And I'm going to work on my tail again here from last row. It's good to remember that, then you have less tails to work in. And we just finish by working as many single crochets as we have after our last half repeat or full repeat. And last stitch is the border stitch, and we work 2 single crochets there. Et voila! Opa! There you go, that was row 6. Okay, on to row 7. So now we look here at the end here, and we are going to we're just going to fill these up here then with the white. Okay, so we start here with a border stitch, 1 chain, and then 2 single crochets into the first stitch. I'm working over my tail here, and here you see it's always just good to count your stitches how many you have, but you always have to do 3 into the first one. Okay, but for example here now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and we have 1, 2, 3 normal stitches here, and so we have to do 3 into this one here. You just want to have the same amount of stitches worked as you have in the last row. Okay, so we yarn over, and as before we always have to do 3 in the first one, and then 3 in the next one. 3 into this first one, and then just work 1 into each of the next ones. But basically just want to have the same amount of stitches as you had in the last row before getting to these here, the double crochets, the extended DCs. Okay, now I made 6, 3 in the first one, and then just filling up as many as I need here. And now this is a single crochet row, and we're just going to be working single crochets into each stitch until we get to the center. Okay, ba-ba-da-bum, into the back loop of each stitch until there are only 5 stitches left before the center chains. Okay, so we just continue here on 1 single crochet into the back loop always, Okay, what was it? 5 stitches left before the center chain. Okay, so we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's one more. Okay, now we're gonna work 4 extended DCs. And that's the 4th one lands here in the chain. Okay, so we go down here, and that's 1 and 2 and 3, and the 4th one lands here in the middle bit, like so. And then we just, yeah, and then we do, sorry, and then we do 1 single crochet here, 1 single crochet into the chain, and then chain 2. 1 single crochet into the center chain, 1 into the next one, and then we do our 4 extended DCs. The first one lands here in the center chain, 3 rows down. Do 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 do. Oh no. And 4. Like so. Okay. So in the middle bit here, we're doing 4 extended DCs, and then there are 2 single crochets. One goes just into one normal stitch, and then one goes into a chain 2, and 2 single crochets, again 1 into the chain and 1 into a normal stitch, and then 4 these extended DCs. And then you just duplicate here, you just mirror what we did on this side for the rest of the row. Okay, so I've done all the single crochets. Basically just work single crochets until you've covered the 4 extended DCs from last row. And now again, we're going to count how many stitches we have here. It's going to be the same as the beginning, but still. Here is the border stitch, and then we have 2, 4, 6. And again, we have here 3 stitches we can work into normally, and then the 3 extra go here in the last stitch. Okay, so we just do 3 extended DCs because we're just covering everything up after the pattern ends here. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 into the last one. Two and 3. And then we're gonna do the border stitch here. Just 2 single crochets into the last stitch, like so. Got your yarn, chain 1, and a whoopa. So that was row 7, all done. And as you can see, we're just filling everything up here at the end after our pattern ends, and that just means there's like going to be a bit of a white part or a main color here at the end, and the pattern starts varies where it starts, but it looks grand when you finish. And I think it's better this way because then it is more room, there's more room to play for you guys. Okay, row 7, whoop, all done. On to row 8, and we're going to use color C again now. And we start the row as before, always just with a border stitch here at the end of the row. And 1 and 2. And now we're just going to work single crochets all the way until we get to the stitches where we have here, where we can go down and do a block of extended DCs. I'm going to work over my tail here. 1, 2, just single crochets until basically you have where to go down. So you can't do double extended DCs here until you get to this bit here where you have the space to go down and do our extended DCs in the same color. Okay, so that's a couple of more stitches here. Okay, this is driving me absolutely insane to have these scratching away here. Out with ya. Take those stitch markers out because we don't need them anymore. There you go. Okay, and now we are here at the point where we can work our extended DCs. And then we just work our repeat until there are only 2 stitches left before the center chain. Okay, we go down here and do 4 extended DCs. And then 4 single crochets. Okay, and continue 4 extended DCs, 4 single, 4. I'm gonna go and just continue the same way. Okay, so I did the repeat here: 4 extended, 4 single, 4 extended, 4 single, 4 extended, 4 single, until you only have here 2 stitches left before your your center chains. And now we are going to work 3 extended crochets into the first corner chain and 3 into the second. Okay, so we go down here and we go into the corner chain here, and we're going to work 3 here. 1, 2, and 3, chain 2, and then and then 3 into the second corner chain. Okay. And now we just go up again the same way. 4 single crochets, 4 extended, single extended, single extended, and then single just all the way to the end. And don't forget to weave in your end there. Work over your end. Okay, off we go. Okay, so row 9 is color B again, the light brown here, and it's just 1 single crochet into each. So I'm just gonna do that. It's just quarter stitch and single crochets into all the back loops. So, and you know, increase as before here, just everything the same, just single crochet row. So I trust that you will handle that. Okay, here we go, row 9 all done. It was just single crochets here all the way. On to row 10, and that is actually the last row I'm going to show you here now. The rest is in the pattern. I just really wanted to show you, have this support video, so that the fudging here, or like the different types of ends, you could understand where I'm going, so nobody. But the pattern comes also with a chart, so it should all be super clear. But now for row 10, we are going to do the border stitch. We're using color A, and we do the border stitch as before, 2 single crochets here into this one, and now we do 3 extended DCs here down, into the first one. All 3 go into the first one here, and then we're just going to do cover up here all these with extended DCs, just 1 into all of the stitches available here. So that's a lot of stitches here actually, but that's okay. Just 1 extended DCs into all the stitches available here. Okay, basically just work these until you get to your first block here. Okay, and now we start with a repeat again. 4 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 4 extended. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and then just 4 and 4 and 4 and 4, always here until we get to the center. Well, I'm just going to do that, and then I'll show you the center. This is row 10. Yes, I remember there was something here with the center that will maybe throw you off. That's why I want to show you this row too. So we do 4 single, 4 extended, 4 single, 4 extended, 4 single, and then we do 4 extended, and those go into here, the extended DCs from row 7. Okay, and those are the last 4 extended DCs here before the center. And then we just do 4 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we have the center here, and there we do 1 single crochet, 2 chains, and 1 single, and then we do another, and then we start the repeat again. 4 single, it's 5 total here because we have the extra one that we did on the center, yeah, and then we start with the extended DCs, and those, the first one here after the center, go into the same color, into these extended DCs here from row 7. Okay, and then you just finish the same way. 4 single, extended, single, single, extended, single, and then just fill up here with all the extended DCs, and remember to put 3 extended DCs in the last stitch so we have the right stitch count. Et voila, row 10 all done, and it's only 15 rows total of the mosaic stitch, so there are just 5 more rows, and since I've showed you all this here, I am sure you will manage with the pattern, with the chart and the written instruction and everything. But isn't this fun? Yeah, so that's it for today, the support tutorial for the block party shawl, and I hope this helped to get you along and get you started on your new shawl. And well, I'm off to do some gardening stuff with some friends, and just have a great, well, no, I won't publish it today. Have a great day. Toodaloo.